Squim High School today to go watch my son, who did make varsity, so I have to update everybody. I was stoked about that. Cried a little bit, well, probably like 3 times yesterday, looking at his old photos of when he was in Little League, and so I just want to go see how huge he looks compared to those little guys, and it's just neat to see him participate in something where he's kind of able to share what he knows with those younger ones. So, and I just want to spy on him because he's gorgeous. But I wanted to talk real quick just this morning, some really good things that again is happening in my off season. So I am doing this at about 9:23, heading to see him, and I do all of my crazy gym stuff and my time in the mornings, and it was wonderful today. So today was pretty sweet because my food increased last week, and I had check-in pictures today, and a little bit nervous because in my previous off seasons, they've been notorious for me just really struggling. I always put on way too much weight. I look fat. I kind of lose my body in this like fat suit. And so going into this off season with a new coach was another area of where I was really nervous. And so some of the things that I told myself I was going to do in switching coaches and going into this off season is really letting go of a lot of the things that I want to control. I've had many coaches. I've been in this for a while, and they've all been great in their own ways. And but I think not perfect coaching in my history, but also like I also wanted to control things and do things my way. And I think it's really difficult for a coach to grab onto someone if they're going to kind of do their own thing behind the scenes. And so one of the things that I learned from my past and what I do is I really had to go into this off season trusting the person that I went to, and not working with them before, not knowing what's going to happen. That was just, it's been a mental thing for me every single day. Every single day I have to tell myself to not, control or do I have very little cardio right now, and it is extremely difficult for me. And I tell myself every single day, like, don't push it. My training is set a certain way. I'm not asking for significant changes, and it's really been wonderful to my body. I think it's a whole new protocol that I've ever experienced. So there's that. I got rid of all my old supplements. I started a new line that I really, really like. I mean, my body is just really responding to what's happening, and I haven't been this excited about progress in a really long time. I feel like I'm in prep, but I'm not in prep because there's really just some great things happening. And so, just when I think it's going to stop or things are going to get worse, or all of a sudden I'm going to put on this fat and look crazy, I look crazy in the opposite way. I look big like the Hulk, but everything's holding together really nicely. And I just have never in the last 8 years experienced an off season or progress like this. I've taken 2 off seasons in the past, and both of them I got very big. And it doesn't take much for me to get fat. So this has been refreshing. And my energy, what's even better is like I'm hitting PRs I haven't hit in a long time. My strength is out the roof. I am eating the highest I've ever eaten, which isn't super high compared to other competitors, I don't believe. But it just says so much about starting out with a little bit and like integral adding as you go, and just kind of monitoring what happens. And I mean, whatever's happening is great. And it's just giving so much more balance to the other things in my life. I just feel good when I leave the gym. I get to, I'm going into work being present. I'm definitely more present at home. There's just a really nice balance happening when your body feels good. I can't even explain to people who don't know. Like, it's a game changer. And yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of good things. And so with watching my son kind of go through this, you know, getting on varsity as a freshman and he works really hard, but also remembering, like, you got to follow the rules and you got to do your part. And if you cut corners or if you try to do things where you think is better or right, it doesn't always work out. There's a difference, though, to trusting your gut. And the reason I made the switch to this new coach is because I trusted my gut, and my gut was right. So with that being said, you know, follow the rules, but also know, like, in your heart and in your tummy, like, if things don't feel right, there's probably a reason for that. And don't ignore those signals, because there's probably good reason for it. Your body talks to you all the time. You just got to know to feel it and understand what is happening there. And you know, like, I kind of have talked to my boys about that too. Like, if something doesn't feel right, then talk to somebody about it, because it's just good to bounce it off. And especially if you're going to make big decisions. This decision that I made was good. But you know, it's just such a mixed bag. And anyways, just some thoughts I was thinking about, but just so stoked about what's happening in this off season that I may never ever want to go into prep again. Or at least when I do go into prep for a show, I will actually have the body that I know that I need to present. And I think that's what's been frustrating. I was telling one of my bodybuilding friends this morning, what's frustrating is to know that you can come in so much better and you haven't. And so the other thing I have to listen to now moving forward is, do I just sit where I'm at and keep building this body in off season and see where things go? You know, I mean, it's very happy right now, so we'll see. But so far so good. I'm just totally digging all the good things that are happening right now with my own little personal journey and what I'm seeing kind of play out in my family life, and just all good stuff. Time to get steps in now, but only 8,000 with Bruno.